Greetings, greetings, beautiful being. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Movement Medicine Morsels. And we're continuing this week of playing with different ideas around prana or vitality in honor of Hanuman, the monkey deity of India, who is the son of the wind, and wind being our vital life force energy, chi, life, sparkle, shine, whatever you want, that lovely life force that makes us feel really alive. And when we don't feel good, we definitely notice that. So there are lots of ways to move this energy. Today we're using a yoga technology called Pawanmuktasana. Pawan is the wind or the energy. Mukti is freedom, liberation, and asana is posture or stance. And that refers even more to an internal stance of balance, calm, and ease. So we're going to be doing some very simple anatomically based activities, playing with them that help us to feel supple in our joints and feel energy moving. So it's like taking some WD-40, some lubrication oil to your joints. So this is a fantastic practice for people with arthritis, for people who can't move a lot, and also for people who are absolutely healthy, to keep everything moving well. Because we tend to have sedentary lifestyles where we're not necessarily moving all parts of our body. We might be sitting a lot at a desk or working at a computer, and so there are vast sheaths of our body that are not getting any action. So we want to bring intelligent flow and circulation to every part of ourselves. So I'm going to move back a little bit. The other nice thing about this is you can do it sitting down, you can do it standing up, you can do it sitting, you can even do it by visualizing. So let's come to a calm, centered place, feeling our feet, feeling our sit bones, and allowing from this beautiful foundation a light lift to rise up through the center channel of the body, to elongate the spine and the neck and the crown of the head, and just settling for a few moments. Soft smile, feel yourself right where you are. Acknowledge any sensations, thoughts, memories that might be accompanying you from where you've just been, even from the recent past. And just let them be, and gently let those soft dissolve into the background as you come more and more into this very moment. How does your body feel right now? What do you feel through the soles of your feet, through your hands? How is the air on your skin, the feeling of the clothing on your skin? Maybe there are smells or sounds in the background around you. And maybe you want to open your eyes softly and just gaze around gently and take in with awareness, what are the sights around you? Does anything catch your eye? So we're anchoring ourselves very gently in the here and now. And notice your breath without changing it. Notice how your body's breathing and get a gentle sense of how you're feeling. Maybe you've just gotten out of bed, you feel a bit stiff. Maybe you've been working hard at something and you feel the repercussions of that. So just let yourself notice how your body feels in terms of stiffness, tiredness, suppleness. Just a gentle reading on that. And so now we're going to go through a little selection. You can make this up later, adding more things. We're going to go through some of the main joints of the body, looking for ease and suppleness. So I want you to take a playful attitude. I want you to look for ease and flow and marvel at least a little at the magnificence and the mystery and the delightful creativity of how our bodies are put together. So I'm going to move back a little bit. Let's begin with the shoulders. So there's a lot of different movements that combine together to move the shoulders. So we're going to start with the shoulder girdle. And the shoulder girdle is the collarbone on each side, and the shoulder blade that rides on the back. And of course, the arm is connected to that. So that's the shoulder joint where the arm connects to the shoulder blade. But let's move the shoulder blades and the collarbones a little bit. So inhale smoothly with a smile, and exhale, relax just as smoothly. Rise up. Isn't that miraculous? Isn't that wonderful? The shoulder girdle rises up and it floats down. It might be nice to inhale as it slides up and exhale as it slides down. And now a new movement of the shoulder girdle. So inhale, we're pulling the ends of the collarbones and shoulders back. And exhale, we're gliding them forward. And this is done lightly. We're not trying to muscle into this. We're starting to communicate with our joints. And as we communicate with our joints, which are part of the skeleton, the way the bones come together, we're also communicating with lots of connective tissue, with fascia, with muscles, with tendons, with ligaments. But the main thing is we want to feel ease and pleasure and a comfortable range of motion. Good. Now there's another movement of the shoulder blades that includes our arms. So if we inhale and lift our hands and start to bring them maybe just overhead a bit, we're rotating the shoulder blades. And you don't even have to know what's happening. Just enjoy the movement. Inhale, lifting your arms. I'll move back a little bit so you can see that a bit more. Inhale, simply lifting the arms where it's comfortable and maybe getting a sense of your shoulder blades, or it might be easier for you to sense what's happening with your collarbones. If you're not sure, put one hand on one collarbone and see how the outer edge of the collarbone turns up. And if it's going up, that means that the shoulder blade is going up. All right, so now I think we have enough information to do what we call shoulder circles. So let's inhale up to the ears and gently back, and then roll down as we exhale and come forward. And enjoy these shoulder rolls, which are essentially shoulder girdle rolls. And now let's play a little bit with it, and we're going to syncopate. So let one shoulder roll up and back and down, and let the other one have its turn. Inhale up, exhale down and around. And if your neck and head stay loose, maybe they want to move with it or respond in some way. And maybe you become aware of a little bit of twisting and rotation in your chest, because of course everything is connected to everything else. And then let's roll the shoulders back one more time and just relax and see how that feels. See how that feels. Let's move to the neck, and one of the nice changes around the neck is to imagine the neck holding a helium-filled balloon of head that is so light that it floats up. You can even take your fingers to the base of your skull and see if you can assist this feeling of lightness in the head, which creates a decompression in the neck. And when we move our head and neck around, we want to honor that lovely feeling of lightness. So sometimes using the fingers to assist just that feeling of going up is helpful. Sometimes a visual image of helium-filled head is enough. So whatever works for you. And keeping this sensation of lightness, turn the head, say as you inhale one way, exhale the other. Let your eyes be soft. Let them have a little feast, a visual feast. And you're just moving to what's comfortable for you. Because remember, we want to free the energy. We don't want to tighten it up. Trust me when I tell you that if you're moving the joints, the muscles and the connective tissues are going to be involved. They're going to be involved. So we're doing this as a freedom technique, because remember, Pawanmuktasana refers back to Hanuman, and Hanuman is about freedom and about love. So you can love every part of your body as you're moving it. Now with a nice light head, exhale the chin towards the chest without collapsing, And inhale, gently opening the throat. If it helps you to keep your fingers as a support system, and don't be afraid of moving your head and your neck. If you know this secret tip about keeping the neck free by keeping the head light, then you don't have to be afraid of collapsing or crunching. And let's tip one ear to the shoulder, inhale up, and we're exploring. We're exploring what feels good. We're not trying to produce or push or get a certain result. The methodology, the medium is the method. The medium is the message. So the medium, the methodology today is ease, curiosity, playfulness, and we're looking for freedom. And see how that feels. Move your head around. And now imagine your nose is going to paint circles. And you can decide if that circle is going to be kind of an oval or an ellipse. And whatever kind of circular motion with your nose feels good. And then moving in the opposite direction. And I just thought of a different place than to initiate from that might be of interest to some of you is the base of the skull, right in the center of the base of the skull. You can touch or tap that area. And what would it be to paint some small circles leading with that point? That's really interesting. I like that. I don't know where that came from, but it's worth exploring. If something doesn't feel good, you just do something else that feels better. So here I am just feeling into moving from that point at the base of the skull. That was interesting. Okay. Shake that out, let that go. So just see, we've done some stuff in the shoulder girdle, we've done some stuff in the neck. Now let's play a little bit with the shoulders themselves, but I'm just going to throw in a nice composite movement that includes a lot of things. Oh, I'll break it down a little bit. I'm going to stand up. You can probably see, I'll move back a little bit. I want you to see my hand and my arm. So I'm going to keep my chest fairly quiet. And as I exhale, I'm going to rotate the back of the palm forward and the thumb maybe back a little bit. And inhale, I'm opening the palms forward and maybe they go a bit further. So exhale, I'm turning my palms back, but I'm also curious about how far the arm might roll without strain. And inhale, the palms are coming forward and maybe continuing. So this is an internal rotation of the shoulder joint. Think about what the upper arm is doing. And then an external rotation. So I'll just hold my fingers here. You'll see that part of my arm rolls in and that part of my arm rolls out. And maybe you want to do that too, to bring even more awareness to what's happening to your bones and therefore to your joints. Excellent. Okay, so now we're going to come into the composite, which includes a lot of everything. It includes movements of the shoulder joint and also movements of the shoulder girdle. So let's bring fingers to the shoulder, and the elbow is going to be our paintbrush. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, rise up, drawing an arc. Let the face join, so you can even rest your cheek on your hand or arm. And exhale as you finish the circle. Inhale, we're coming up, and exhale, we're circling around. And we do want this little rotation, the opening of the side body, the rotation of the throat. So this is a composite movement that's very freeing. It's one of my favorites. It's a good one to do every day, great for the lymph, great for breast health for women and men. And it includes the neck, throat, shoulder. A lot of us have tension here. So let's release that. And just pause for a moment and check in. How does this feel for you? And because this is the first movement we've done that's one-sided, do you notice anything different on the side that's had a chance to move through and the side that hasn't? Just to feel into that. Because a lot of us, we have such a fast world, we're not always given permission or give ourselves permission, maybe we've never even been invited to do this, to just notice what's going on. to just pause and listen to that quiet internal voice. So let's bring the fingers to the other shoulder and exhale, lower the elbow. The elbow is the paintbrush. Inhale and let the cheek and the face and the eyes travel with that circle. And it doesn't have to be big. I'll just show it can be low and still be happy, full, and fulfilling. So we're enjoying, we're also looking for the quality of ease and appreciation. So that's why it's so important to look for where does the movement feel free, because then the medicine of joy and ease is being spread through the body. And maybe do one more of these. And releasing. And just letting that be. Okay, how does that feel? How does that feel? We're going to do a little bit more with the hands. So what's going to happen is we're going to do focused on the upper body Pawanmuktasana today, and then if you tune in for tomorrow's episode or put them both together when you're looking at them again, you will do more for the lower body. But let's do the hands. So inhale, pull all the fingers in as though you're making a fist, and exhale, expand. Inhale, pull in. Exhale, expand. So we're making a bud, pulling in, and then flowering. And feel how nice this is in your hands, especially if you're spending a lot of time at the keyboard. Pull in and release. And let's just shake that out, releasing the joints, releasing the joints. And then, of course, the wrists. So now we're going to make loose fists, just touching the thumb and the other fingers lightly together, and circling the wrists. Now, there's a point where the forearm, the inside of the forearm comes up, and then there's a point when the forearms turn down. So this is a lovely movement at the elbow, and you may notice that I'm not trying to hold my shoulders stiff here. Everything is interconnected. So remember, we're doing this for freedom. So we're doing wrist circles, and if you want to break down the forearm, it's palms up and palms down. And this can be a very effective exercise. I've had the opportunity to work a lot with seniors, and these are sometimes movements that we lose as we age because we're not doing as much with our hands anymore. So as we circle the wrists, let your forearms have that rotation as well. And breathe and smile and imagine beautiful lubrication of joy and freedom. And we literally are lubricating our joints. We're releasing fluids in our joints that help to bathe them and create a frictionless environment. And shake that out and just see how your hands feel and your fingers feel. And just so the lower body doesn't feel completely left out, we're going to do a little bit for the hips, but we'll do more for the hips and lower body next session. So hands on the hips. You can do this one sitting down, but you might like to do it standing just for an option. Nice vertical alignment. We'll bend the knees a little bit, and slow swing of the hips to one side. Inhale up. Just reaching with the hips. You can turn the head and the eyes to look in that direction too. And we're feeling into the hips. We're smiling into our hips. And we'll finish this set. And then a new movement for the hips. We're going to press the pubic bone forward on the inhale and get a soft crease in the groins as we stick our bum out a little bit. So stay nice and long as you open up the fronts of the hips. Any of us who are spending a lot of time sitting, maybe Zoom meetings or driving or just sitting in a chair, we get a lot of this movement, flexion, but we don't get nearly enough of this nice opening extension. So let's do one more of the extensions because it's probably the missing vitamin. And now let's start going in a circle. So from the front, you go to one side, then around the back, then to the other side, and don't miss this front movement. Stay awake, aware, and let this be really smooth and delicious. Smile into your hips. There's a lot of lubrication available in this movement. And we don't want to rush it. We want to really enjoy it. And maybe you might even notice what's happening with your ankles and feet. Are they getting a little bit of good time too? And let's go in the opposite direction. And if your head and neck want to move with the movement in whatever way they like, you can do that. Don't miss that beautiful spot where the hips extend to the front. And then let's bring that to a gentle finish. See how you feel. See how you feel. And let's complete today's session by exhaling. You can do this seated or standing. Inhaling, raising the arms. So much delight happening in the shoulders, in the hands. Exhale, turn the palms out. Feel the air. Move smoothly. Palms up. Inhale. Exhale, down. And one more little treat for the shoulders. Inhale, this time interlace the fingers. Exhale, turn the palms up. Stretch yourself to get some lovely elongation of the spine. And then stay tall, but just bend the elbows and paint some halos. They can be above the head, they can be behind the head. If your shoulders don't like that, they can be in front of your body. We're just finding some way to do some delicious orbits, which include a lot of interesting places through your shoulders and chest. And let's do a few going the opposite way. And remember, intention is really important. So we're not just doing movements to do movements. We're also filling them with appreciation, with breath, with joy, and we're looking for ease and flow. We're looking for freedom. Inhale up, bend the knees. Exhale, burst the fingers and rise as you paint a rainbow of healing light around you. Letting the shoulder girdle relax, swishing. And then gently fold the hands over the low belly. Sit or stand or lie down and feel long. Feel your breath. And has anything changed for you? If you want to move as you check that out, feel how things are doing. Does anything feel different? Does anything feel freer? And if you enjoyed this, I invite you to return for tomorrow's segment, same time, same station, where we do some details in the lower body and the spine. And then we'll do a little bit with the upper body, just to make sure that all parts of us feel included. So many blessings and great gratitude. Thank you so much for your attention, your support, your love. And if you had an interesting experience, or I'd love to read your comments. So many blessings, and I look forward to connecting with you in whatever way it happens next time. Bye-bye.